The dumb things Democrats say. The broadcast begins in 10 seconds. WDBC Internet Television is on. I am an avatar for Michael P. Borgia. The broadcast, originating from deep behind enemy lines, is brought to you by dailyborg.com. Conservative politics for the thoughtful. Resistance is futile. You will be assimilated. It can be breathtaking at times. The dishonesty, the banality, the anger, the vile, the shocking level of intellectual bankruptcy. And that's just Joe Biden. Today's Democratic Party leaders, with the mainstream media as their complicit allies, truly believes they can say or do just about anything and get away with it. We'll look at some of the more stunning examples when the broadcast continues in a moment.
Engine.
Check.
Thrusters.
Check.
Fuel.
Check.
Computers.
Check.
Social Security.
No check, go direct.
That's right, Patty. A few weeks ago, I went online to godirect.org to sign up for direct deposit. It's easy to do, and I got my cash at warp speed.
Wow, it's fast and easy. I'll sign up right now to make sure I'm prepared for our next mission.
When you drive for a living, you buckle up every time, whether you drive one of these or one of these. Truckers know what I'm talking about, because no matter how good a driver you are, trouble can still happen. That's when you want to keep your safety belt on to keep you steady, behind the wheel, in control, and looking out for everybody. Safety is a professional driver's responsibility. Remember, you're the one who drives for a living.
A message from the U.S. Department of Transportation.
It just never ceases to fascinate me how it is a Democrat can say just about anything. No matter whether it's based in fantasy, superstition, or whether it's based in racial or gender bias, no Democratic leader has any fear of saying anything and being called out for it. Kristen Jones is here with me now to go over some of our recent favorites.
Michael, thank you. Here's a favorite of mine that Barack Obama likes to use often. He said in fact just this week that he's signed into law about $1.4 trillion in spending cuts. And the mainstream media simply accepts that as though it were fact. In fact, it's a lie. The last budget President George W. Bush signed for a full year authorized $2.9 trillion in spending. This fiscal year, the government will spend about $3.8 trillion. Spending has increased by $1 trillion in just one presidential term. But Obama wants you to believe he's cut spending? That's just absurd.
One of my favorite bits of Obama hypocrisy centers on the current debate on the debt ceiling. In 2005, Obama voted against raising the debt ceiling. In 2008, he called the debt being rung up under President Bush unpatriotic. But now after 4 years, Obama's smallest annual deficit is still 3 times bigger than the largest run-up under Bush. But for Republicans to be reluctant to raise the debt ceiling with significant structural changes to how we spend money is somehow, according to Obama, dangerous and unprecedented. That's actually not true. In fact, nearly every measure that has raised the debt ceiling since the 1980s has had some measure attached to it to try to control spending, including the 1995 accords that actually led to a balanced budget.
It's not all just about the president. During the Iraq War, Representative Jack Murtha became one of the war's harshest critics. And his comments were not restricted to politics. He liberally and viciously attacked his own Marine Corps brethren. In one instance, he accused Marines of having gone into houses and killed women and children. Murtha was never held to account for his comments. He was never disciplined by the House of Representatives. And the Marines he slandered, it should be noted, were all acquitted by a general court-martial.
The Senate Majority Leader has said his share of dumb things too. Recently he tried to attach a $100 million provision to an emergency bill for Hurricane Sandy relief to study global warming. To Harry Reid, global warming is the root of all evil, even though we now know it to be unsubstantiated superstition. In October 2007, while fires were burning uncontrollably in California, Reid infamously said, "One of the reasons we have the fires burning in Southern California is global warming." The media just ate it up. But in fact, California has been dealing with wildfires for decades. Smokey the Bear has been around a lot longer than global warming has.
His House counterpart, Nancy Pelosi, has said her fair share of really dumb things too. And we know she doesn't like to read. That's perhaps why she said famously that we have to pass the healthcare law to find out what's in it. Reading it evidently did not cross her mind. Again, there was very little pushback on that from the press. But Pelosi's dislike for reading was well known. In an interview on The View in 2007, Pelosi commented on Clarence Thomas's book, "I think it's revisionist, but I haven't read it yet."
Charlie Rangel, the House member from New York who has served since 1970, has evidently lost sight of the fact that there are some things that you just don't say to the media, even when you're a 42-year House veteran whose district is expressly designed so that no one can run against him. In April of 2007, Rangel was asked why the House jammed $20 billion in pork barrel spending into what was supposed to be an emergency bill. Rangel's response: "Because we needed the votes."
Going back to the president one last time, in an interview with Chris Matthews Inc. 2006, the then freshman senator was asked about cocaine use. His answer was at the very least honest. "When I was a kid, I inhaled frequently. That was the point." One perhaps has to wonder if he was also inhaling when he selected his vice president.
Thanks, Kristen. One has to wonder just what might happen to the public career of a Republican who had said any of these things. One would think that they would be very quickly voted, or laughed out of office. We'll be back with closing thoughts when the broadcast continues in a moment.
No. Pain. Oh, is that my heart? My heart. My heart? No, it'll pass. 911. Could call 911. No, ambulance. Couldn't do that. Sirens. Neighbors rushing over. Embarrassing. Too embarrassing. Maybe I'll feel better later. Oh.
Some people would rather die than call an ambulance. So that's exactly what they do.
Hands can do incredible things. Now they can even help save a life with hands-only CPR. If you see an adult suddenly collapse, just call 911, then push hard and fast in the center of the chest until help arrives. Learn more at handsonlycpr.org.
The debt ceiling battle is getting ready to build to a new crescendo. Democrats who have run the national credit card to its limit once again have proposed a new solution: a credit card with no limit. This is unimaginable. Just a day after the Fitch Ratings agency threatened to downgrade U.S. bond ratings if significant changes were not made to U.S. spending, liberal Democrats respond by demanding the right to borrow and spend without any restraint. Republicans, meanwhile, continue to wait upon the president to come to a negotiating table he said that he would not come to. Republicans should stop wasting time and instead pass a bold and visionary plan that includes a balanced budget amendment. After all, if you're the only side with any intelligent ideas, what is the point in dealing with a side that has none? Nothing good can come of that, except more dumb comments from Democrats the press will ignore anyway. You have been assimilated.